We're good. Call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for February 17th, 2026.
Good evening, Commissioners. Jason Halterman, Assistant Director of Planning and Zoning. I would like to submit the following exhibits for tonight's record. They are the Platte County Zoning Order of 1990 as amended, Platte County Subdivision Regulations of 1992 as amended, Platte County Land Use Plan, Platte County Roads Master Plan, all PowerPoint presentations with aerial maps, site plans, and plats shown here tonight, as well as the planning and zoning bylaws.
If there's no objections, we'll enter those into the record.
Mr. Chairman, a little housekeeping item. Agenda item 3C, the request to rezone by Forest Park Development of Kansas City from Ag to PR and the Hidden Oaks Planned Residential District Plan will be tabled until the March 17th, 2026 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Yeah, better go ahead and vote.
I'm moving through the table.
Agenda item 3C.
Agenda item 3C.
Chris made the motion. Erica seconded. All in favor of tabling 3C, raise your right hand. Item tabled. Troy doesn't know his left or his right, but that's all right.
Agenda item 3A is a request to rezone 34.45 acres located at the northeast corner of Highway P and the Lamar Road intersection. Jabez 4 LLC is requesting to rezone this 34.45 acres from Ag to RE Rural Estates. They wish to perform a 2-lot minor subdivision to create one 10-acre lot and one 24.05 acre lot. Each of these lots would be eligible to receive a building permit for single-family construction. This is the description of the proposed zoning, the Rural Estates District. We're all familiar. The minimum lot size is 5 acres. Minimum lot width requirement is 400 feet. Proposed rezoning does meet these requirements. This is an aerial view of the subject properties and surrounding zoning to get your bearings. We're in the northern central portion of Platte County, north of Weston. This is the property here outlined in yellow. This is Highway P, runs up, intersects with H Highway. Further north, it comes to Highway V. This is Lamar Road, as it runs back to the east and then eventually hooks up with H Highway as well. This is a closer view of the property. I've seen a copy of the proposed minor subdivision. The 10-acre lot would be located on the northern portion. 24 would be at the corner of Lamar and P. These are the entities that reviewed the request and signed the application, indicating their ability to provide service. They are the Platte County Health Department, Missouri Department of Transportation, Weston Special Road District, Public Water Supply District number 7, West Platte Fire Protection District, and the West Platte R2 School District. These are our minimum existing infrastructure requirements for the Rural Estates District. For roads, it's category 1, which is a minimum of gravel surface. Highway P exceeds this standard as it's asphalt, and Lamar Road meets this standard as it is gravel. They would have the ability to get septic on the property. There is water available. It is within 5 miles of a fire station. Proposed rezoning does meet or exceed all minimum existing infrastructure requirements. This is our Platte County Future Land Use Plan map. The red arrow indicates the approximate location of the property. It falls within our agricultural policy area, which has a recommendation of 1 lot per 10 acres or more. As I stated, they are proposing to create one 10-acre lot and one 24-acre lot. These lots do conform to the recommendations of our land use plan. These are the recommendation criteria. They were listed in the staff reports. Staff recommends approval of this request to rezone from Ag to RE Rural Estates. I'm available for any questions you may have.
Questions for staff? Comments from the audience for agenda item 3A? Discussion amongst the board? Seeing none, we'll entertain a motion for agenda item 3A.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of agenda item 3A, raise your right hand. Item passed unanimously.
Agenda item 3B is a rezone request concerning 6 acres located at 10770 Highway E. The Marty and Deborah Richardson Family Trust is requesting a rezone of 6 acres from Ag to R80, which stands for rural single family. They wish to perform a 1-lot minor subdivision to create one 6-acre lot. This proposed lot would contain an existing single family dwelling and an accessory structure. That's currently, the 6 acres is currently a portion of a larger 113-acre tract. The remaining 107 acres is going to maintain its ag zoning and remain unplatted. R80 zoning district, the minimum lot size is 80,000 square feet. Minimum lot width requirement is 200 feet. Proposed rezoning does meet these requirements. The aerial view of subject properties and surrounding zoning. Get your bearings. This is Camden Point. We're in the central portion of Platte County. Highway E runs to the east. This is the property here outlined in yellow. The dashed line represents the remaining property. Closer view of the property. The house falls right about here, and there's a shed that they're going to keep with this. This is the 6-acre lot submitted. These are the entities that reviewed the request. They signed the application and gave their ability to provide service. They are Missouri Department of Transportation, Platte County Health Department, Public Water Number 2, Camden Point Fire, North End Regional Ambulance District, and North Platte R1 School District. Minimum existing infrastructure requirements for R80. For roads, the minimum of a chip and seal surface. Highway E is asphalt, so it exceeds the standard. There is an existing septic system on with the house. It already has water within 5 miles of the fire station. This proposed rezoning doesn't meet or exceed these requirements. So once again, is our Platte County future land use plan map. Red arrow indicates the approximate location of the property. It too falls within our agricultural policy area, which has a recommendation of 1 lot per 10 acres or more. However, there is an exclusion that states that a one-time subdivision be allowed provided the principal tract remains 10 acres or greater. Newly created lot is no smaller than 2 acres and contains an existing single-family dwelling and is not in the subdivision. Based on this exclusion, the proposed lot does conform to our recommendations of our land use plan. These are the recommendation criteria as listed in the staff report. Staff recommends approval of this request to rezone from Ag to R80. I'll answer any questions you may have.
Questions for staff?
There's no opposition.
House.
Yep.
Dwelling there now.
Yep, there's a dwelling there now. They're, I think the original farmstead, they're splitting, they would like to split the house off.
Any other questions for staff? Comments from the audience for agenda item 3B? Discussion amongst the board. Entertain a motion for 3B. Troy makes a motion.
Go ahead. I'll second that.
Jade seconds. All in favor of agenda item 3B, raise your right hand. Item passed unanimously.
Approval of the minutes?
I was
Yeah.
waiting for Erica to wake up.
Sorry, I am not awake, but I did review them and they appeared to be in order, so I'm going to approve.
Erica moves to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Chris seconds. All in favor of approval of the minutes, raise your right hand. All opposed, all abstaining. Jade's abstaining. Other business?
I have none beyond, next meeting is March 17th. Daniel has a little bit that he would like to discuss
I
briefly
do actually have
about.
one thing to bring up. We got it. Something I brought up with you on the phone. Jason, is this the appropriate time?
Not really.
Okay.
Okay.
We can talk about it after.
Perfect.
Okay.
Couple items. First, I want to introduce Krista Wilson. Krista back there. Krista is the building official. I mean, you all remember Gail probably. Krista's trying to fill those shoes, doing a wonderful job. The building is crazy. You know, we have, I don't know how many 100 single family permits a year and another 400 accessory dwellings. So it's a big job and she's doing a great job. And she wanted to come to planning commission for you for some reason. So here she is.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank
She gets
you.
to see how lots are created, so she has to get your permits. I do want to spend a little bit of time, a little refresher on ex parte communication, just so everybody, this item that got tabled, I'm not going to talk about it. Obviously, it's got some interest. As a board member, this board is a quasi judiciary board, meaning you're not judges, you're not wearing robes, you weren't appointed by the governor. You're appointed by the commissioners, and this is a legal process. You know, everybody has a property right. ability to apply for something, we have a due process to kind of process these applications, and obviously your decisions can be appealed, can become part of an actual judicial process. So it's important that we kind of understand that we're in a process. And one of the things that can happen is this idea of ex parte communication. And ex parte communication, the law kind of envisions, imagine if you had a case in front of a judge, whatever kind of case it was. You would not like it if you found out after the fact, especially if the ruling didn't go your way, that you found out that the judge had coffee with the other side of the case. Or, so it's not that judges or you don't have lived experiences and ideas about development or whatever might be proposed. But the idea is that the hearing, you should come into the hearing with an open mind, or at least to hear the evidence. The evidence for and against should be delivered at the hearing, and ruling should be based on what either reports that were provided or the testimony is provided at the hearing, in addition to public policy in that regard. And so what can happen, and it's hard, it's impossible today with social media, it's impossible to not hear about things. And our policy related, let's say if somebody corners you at the store, they know you're on this board, and they want to provide their testimony right there in the store, that's up for you to decide how you want to deal with that. But the policy is that if somebody really gets a hold of you and lobbies you, that you're supposed to come in here and at a minimum disclose it. Say, hey, at the store, this person came up to me and gave me the 10 reasons why I should vote for it. Or the developer, or vote against it. The developer showed up and showed me his plans, and we looked at it for a little bit. Disclosure. Now, if somebody walks up to you and says, hey, just an off comment or whatever, no, that doesn't rise to the level. But if you feel like you've been lobbied, like you are taking, especially if it's information that it's going to be part of your decision-making process, you need to disclose that at the hearing. We try to discourage that. It's perfectly okay to say to somebody in that regard, say, hey, I understand the hearing is on March 17th. I hope you attend. Or if you can't attend, please write a letter and staff will mark it as an exhibit. And that way everybody sees that information. It's not because if Mark's got some information that he heard and he's making his decision on that information, which doesn't come before the rest of the board, now we've got a member that uses different information than somebody else made their information. Everybody should have the same information is the idea. So like again, with social media, especially depending on where you live, it's hard to avoid it. And we're not going to pretend like we can. I mean, Pike County is a big growing place, but it's not that big. People know everybody. People know people. So you're not, nobody expects you to, live in a cave and only come out to the planning commission. So disclosure. If you feel like you have truly been lobbied with somebody who's trying to provide you information, please come to the meeting, disclose it. We do not, if somebody calls and asks for your personal info, your address and your phone number, we don't provide that. Here's their name, here's the area they provide. Now, if somebody technically files a sunshine law request, we have to provide it then. We tell people who want to communicate with the board, come to the meeting, write a letter. But if they really want to get their points in early, we will tell them, if you get us your letter, we'll mark it as an exhibit, and we send it out with our packets, which we didn't do that. So that we already have a bunch of exhibits that'll come, and that seems to help. A lot of people feel, okay, I've had my opportunity to express myself. So, you may have any questions about, I'm not a lawyer, but, yeah, if you do get a letter at home, please bring it. We'll mark it as exhibit and provide it to everybody else. Yes, sir.
Did you say that if someone does contact you, lobbies you to bring that at the meeting? Don't you want to know that before the meeting?
You mean what the bylaws say is if Joe catches you and really lobbies you and you feel like, okay, this person, I need to disclose this, what you would do is before the actual hearing happens, you would say, Chairman, I have to make a bylaws ex parte disclosure. On February 20th, I went to the Lions Club dinner and they pulled me in the back and twisted my fingers and and I had to endure it. And
Force chicken wings down.
you're
my-
right. You guys understand what I'm talking about. And that's good enough. As long as it's on the record that happened. And it needs to hit a level of, you'll know when you've truly been lobbied. Like if the developer shows up at your step with a set of plans, which shouldn't happen, but if it does, then yeah, you should disclose that. Or if an opposition group does the same thing, you should disclose that. You happen to hear something in passing, no, that's not big deal.
What if you happen to know the person? Let's say you're in the same industry, you know somebody who's doing something. How would you disclose that, or would you disclose?
That necessarily wouldn't be a disclosure. There is a provision in the bylaws that relates to when you should recuse yourself. And that, I believe, is if there's a financial interest. So being in the same industry does not count. Or a family interest. It's your brother. Cousin. Third cousin, who cares? That is, some of that gets into some gray area, but no, just because you have friends that are financially connected that is not a grounds for recusal. But that is kind of how you feel about it,
Right.
different. That's a hard one because some people, I've had cases where I had a park board and I had one member at a park board meeting, one member who was on one city's park board voted. There was a grant from that city. He voted on it. And then I had another park board member that sat on another city. And when that park board came up, he abstained. Same exact situation. Both felt different about it. The one from the other city was probably correct to abstain, but the other one felt he didn't need to. So,
And so in order to recuse, then should we do that? Like before that
Yeah.
agenda item comes up and then just not
of
take
course,
part
we
in
don't
that.
have our attorney sitting here anymore, but
Right.
if we did, he'd probably say, if you are truly recusing yourself from that item, you should probably get up from your chair and go sit in the back, sit in the back, or even leave, whatever. Yeah. If it's a truly, like I said, Pike County is a small place. So it's not just that you know somebody. It's a family relation.
Financial gain.
Financially, because remember, you think about when I started, we are part of a legal process. So what does a judge downstream think when somebody says, well, Michael Sinkhorn voted on this and that was his brother-in-law's project, then that kind of sends us all back to square one. It's not good. We don't want that. We want whatever the decision to be to set on legally sound ground. Cool. Yeah, unless you guys got some questions.
I think that's it.
Well done.
So that was our other business and staff report. All right. Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Nah, we like it here.
Jerry wants to stay, so we're not going to listen to him. I think Jade said that she was going to make a motion.
I'll say.
Jerry seconds. All in favor of adjournment? Meeting adjourned.
Gave in, Jerry.
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
Yeah.
Oh.